now deeply in collusion with us. Our enemy won't stop at anything. So we too must conform to the enemy method. We don't have the luxury of operating within the rules. You gotta always be thinking about what you truly need, using your brain. I have to power and resolve. Borto, has it been resolved? In terms of Momoshiki and offering the deal or not? Relax. I'll hold up my end. That's not an answer. I don't care for that attitude of yours. Back at ya. You're always holding back the in in inconvenient bits. How many were supposed to die during the sand mission, bro? Bro. I can't read, bro. I literally can't read, bro. Like, I'm actually trying to read this, bro. I'm trying to read this proper, bro, but I can't read it. Oh yeah. Where was I, bro? I don't even know, bro. Could you both stop? Wait, what? I merely guided things towards the most likely path for Sarah to awaken Monkey Dragon in order to avoid the future where there is no way of many more people getting killed. We're wasting time. Could we move on? Very well. You there, Shikamaru. What's the latest? Konohamaru has been escorted into the interrogation room. I suspect my turn will be coming soon, but I am still free. I'm still free for the time being. I'm about 1 week from now. It's in about 1 week from now. The divine trees known as Mamushu will appear in Konoha. Who the frick is Mamushu? Mamushu? What? Oh, that dude, bro? I thought his name was Bug. Okay. I thought his name was Bug, bro. Okay. He will pull up in the Leaf Village in a week. In about 1 week from now. Okay. His target is Ada. I will now tell you the abilities and how he will deal with them. So, with your profess your love to Boruto, what do you mean? What who said anything about doing that? Wait a second. Didn't you kind of end up confessing cake where you come from? Besides the last thing, blah blah blah. Wait, what? Besides that, the last thing he needs right now, I don't want to risk anything wrong. Getting weird between us, boring. And you cake, oh no, how exciting. I won't be able, blah blah blah. And I think Sara's the same, no matter what she says. Perhaps you're right. Giving prior glimpse of it, but in the end, what's the most important is Borto's feeling. Plus, Sada said he got the biggest problem. Blah blah blah. By the way, sorry to break the mood, but speaking of love, I asked again, you two, are you captivated by me? Are you? Listen, make sure you're not found, especially by Damon, if her charm doesn't work on you. It means it's possible that you to kill Ada. You get what I'm saying? If they catch on, your lives may be in danger. It means it's obvious. How else are you able to talk about someone other than me in front of me? It simply is impossible at all. Wow. Okay. You just tried to do anything, didn't you, Sadara? what with yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Holy shit. Holy shit, bro. I can't read, bro. Wait. Boruto. Wait, why am I not typing? Boruto. Explain. This guy definitely did a chapter review, bro. Where's the chapter review, bro? Where's the chapter review, bro? Boom.
Chapter 26 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex didn't just raise the stakes, it tears the floor out from underneath the story itself. Inojin just betrayed his village for the sake of protecting Himawari. The feudal lord is one step away from cutting Konoha's lifeline by defunding it. Damon is turning his sights onto Sarada, and Mamushi is stalking Ada like prey, giving off the vibes of being a fusion of Master Roshi and
Baby
Jeffrey
oil.
Epstein in the
Bro, what the
process.
hell?
Every thread in this chapter feels like it's about to snap, and when it does, the fallout could reshape the shinobi world forever. Let's dive into the chaos that is
Bro, how old is Ida?
Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 26. We open up the chapter with Inojin at the Uzumaki household giving Himawari what looks like to be a jar of expensive and hard to find sunflower honey, Himawari's favorite type of honey, which is also a pun on her name being sunflower. And as she smiles at the gift that's given to her, likely because for the last 3 years she's been living alone, and like a lot of Japanese kids in this situation where their own house care and cooking needs are basically what they focus on, we see a small thrill of her having her wants taken care of by someone that is close to her like Inojin, who's paid extremely close attention to her, even pausing after saying right, because it's an expensive gift that required effort. And his suspect line about a hard to find item being on sale, the soft tender exchange between the two, it is everything. However, this is merely the calm before the storm. A moment of innocent teenage romantic undertones by the 15-year-old Inojin and the 13-year-old Himawari quickly takes a turn. Kashin Koji's Toad is shown looking down at Inojin, and it cuts right to the chase, asking if Inojin likes Himawari, which causes the guy to blush despite initially pausing and saying no, contradicting actions which the Toad picks up on and focuses on the reaction, using it as confirmation, telling Inojin, if you want to protect Himawari, you've got to come with me. It's at that moment that Inojin is summoned to the hideout of Boruto and Kashin Koji, who sits on a couch while introducing himself and gets right to the chase by saying that he's trying to prevent a god tree from harvesting a chakra fruit. But as Inojin recognizes Kashin Koji, likely from the data files that Konoha got on the car enters in part 1 when Amato joined Konoha, Boruto is the one who speaks up, saying he isn't planning on threatening him, but he makes it clear Inojin has nowhere to run, which causes Inojin to turn around and see Boruto channeling his inner Sukuna, sitting with his face against his closed fist, watching him closely, which, given the timing coming after the Inojin question about liking Himawari, to have Boruto portrayed in such a intimidating way, gives me flashbacks to meeting the father and big brothers of ex-girlfriends.
Legend of Hinata Hyuga. Nah, he's the one
I had in high school, but obviously Boruto's intention here isn't about scaring off somebody that likes his sister. Instead, it's more so about the planet, and he tells Inojin he'll let him go home in due time, but for now he has to help him. Meanwhile, back in the Ten Tails hideout, we have a whole book club meeting going on. Hidari is reading a book and Jura is shedding tears while reading a novel, saying he's underestimated this genre of fiction, clearly trying to learn more about the emotion of love, which sadly the book isn't Jiraiya's makeout tactics novel. This then shifts over to Jura, revealing more of what happened during the Matsuri versus Konohamaru fight. He reveals that Matsuri felt multiple emotions that trace back to Konohamaru: anger, sadness, and a strong sense of love that was there briefly, and due to this connection, he experienced that feeling that she did, which is why he shed tears. As this is going on, Mamushi is doing his own reading, but it's more so the type of reading that Master Roshi from OG Dragon Ball would try to do. He's looking at swimsuit models in a magazine, focusing in on their big breasts and butt cheeks, but as Mamushi is in Gooner mode, thinking about getting some pafu.
What are these these freaking vocab words, bro? Gooner, really
to action with the models that are on the magazine.
What the hell,
states
bro?
that everything
Talking about booties and titties improving.
Read wasn't enough for him to truly understand love and that he needs more information. But Mamushi interjects, cutting right into it, and basically says, hey fam, information, that shit's overrated. He says Ada is his target, and the reason he wants her is more than he's preying on her. He outright wants to control her. He wants to make her his, and he wants to take her genetic information by consuming her, which if you're Ada, you likely want to get a restraining order, because Mamushi's grin as he's speaking gives off the same vibes that Ultra Predator Master Roshi had when he was looking at 16-year-old Bulma and 17-year-old Launch in OG Dragon Ball. But at least Ada in this situation is an adult here. Jokes aside though, what you should be focusing in on here is the fact that Mamushi's very strong lust for Ada, it is a byproduct of him being made from Bug's chakra, someone who was in love with Ada and who lusted over her because of omnipotence. Whereas Bug was the creepy old man too scared to be open about what was on his mind, Mamushi is that old man who doesn't care how creepy he looks. He sees what he wants and he just goes for it. Hence, I compare him to Master Roshi. It's yet another sign of what the Shinju truly are. The ones that are made from human chakra, they are a direct reflection of the deepest desires of humans that they are made from, and the true reflection of the personality. Even Jura, who isn't made from a human, he is the Ten Tails in human form. His seeking out knowledge is a mirror of how the Ten Tails, once it's planted, it seeks out all the genetic info and chakra on the planet to make a chakra fruit. In this case, sub out the genetic info and chakra with gaining knowledge, since in a way, genetics, they can be viewed as information itself. That's the thematic parallel. In a very subtle way, Ikimoto is giving us a dissection of what it means to be human. We then shift over to Shikamaru as he approaches the conference room, and Kashin Koji has Inoji link him with Shikamaru to warn him that Shikamaru must come out of this meeting still as the acting Hokage, because if he is removed, it will impact the opportunity to win the next battle, which is Mamushi, who is coming to seek out Ada in exactly 1 week. Upon hearing this in typical Shikamaru fashion, he calls it a drag and he says that he has half the mind to resign, but obviously he can't nor will he ever do it. That's when we see him as he's being confronted by Kobu, the aide to the feudal lord Madoka Ikkyo, the feudal lord of the Land of Fire, and Konohamaru and Sai are standing behind him, and the elders, they have their eye on Shikamaru as well. And this is our sign that the political subplot that we were introduced to when Shikamaru first met the elders after Boruto saved the village from Code, this subplot is about to heat up. They rip into Shikamaru for acting unilaterally when it came to the Sand Village mission, which the whole point of the elders is to serve as an official line of communication and as a sounding board as advisors before the Hokage makes decisions that can impact the village, because if something fails, there will be blowback, and that blowback not only spreads beyond the village, but it reflects poorly of the village, and by extension, it reflects poorly upon the feudal lord, the guy who pays the bills. Kobu tells Shikamaru outright that the feudal lord has questioned if Shikamaru is the right person for the Hokage position, noting that they've even discussed whether or not they even need to fund a shinobi village. Now, this is pretty huge because of how the relationship between the Hokage and just any Kage and a feudal lord works, as well as the ninja village system itself. Shinobi villages, they have never turned enough of a profit to be able to operate on their own and be self-sustaining. Even during a time of open cold warfare when Naruto grew up in it, where there was no peace treaty, missions alone, they never generated enough money, which is why the feudal lord bankrolls the ninja village, oftentimes at a loss. But the idea behind doing so is that the feudal lord, in exchange for giving the ninja village land to live on, he also helps provide them with money and resources, and the ninja village in return serves as the military for the feudal lord, and it protects the interests of their country. In the Boruto era, there is less money coming in from ninja villages due to missions being so far few in between during a time of peace, and with the fact that being a shinobi is optional now, this conversation basically plants seeds for once this global threat of the Shinju is over, the feudal lord in the Land of Fire might just disband the village itself, and other feudal lords might follow, since as we saw in Naruto Part 1 in an often overlooked scene, the Land of Wind's feudal lord had already been shown to be cheap, and he was quick to cut the budget. Hence, Gaara's father agreed to join Orochimaru to help invade Konoha, which obviously Orochimaru killed Gaara's father, and in Gaara Hiden, a Sandstorm Mirage, a epilogue story set after the 4th Ninja War that was never animated by Naruto Shippuden, Gaara was having